All right, good morning, everyone. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Taylor. I do our communications here at My Real Source, as well as teach the photo program and this class. So if you need to rewatch this class, I just want to let you guys know that it will be on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions during this class, we have a question section. You're welcome to type that in. I'll have that window open a little bit, so I'll be able to see those coming through. I also mentioned in the chat that you're welcome to sign into Paragon and follow along as I do this, as well as Facebook, but you don't have to. You can also take notes, whatever works for you. And there's going to be a handout you should see, little PDF just talking about the lead capture feature and a brief summary of the MarketStats product. So go ahead and download that. Be ready to take notes or sign in. This class is about an hour, so it's not a very long class, but we do have some good examples for you and an overview of the product. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me and see me okay. If you could go into the questions section, just so I know that everything looks good and sounds good, that would be great. All right, well, let's dive into the product. Like I said, you can sign in if you would like, but you don't have to. Let me go into Paragon. Okay, so when you're signed into Paragon, MarketStats is basically just a suite of statistical reports that you can pull, you can generate, you can download them, you can share them on social media. There's a few different types of reports that you can do, but just sections within MarketStats, which is nice. It's very easy to navigate. It is single sign-on right through Paragon. So when you're signed into Paragon, all you do is have to go to Resources and hit MarketStats. So when you're in MarketStats, you'll see some tabs up at the top. There'll be InfoSparks. What InfoSparks is it's a custom graph. So you can go in and you can break this graph down to a time frame, an area. The entire MLS is incorporated in this, including our data sharing partners. You can also do a county, a city, a municipality, a school district, and you can do your own custom areas. So that's really detailed if you need to, such as a subject property. Or perhaps your client wants to see homes that are, closer, stats on their homes that are closer to downtown versus further away from downtown. You can kind of show them maybe that price increase, or near golf courses, near the lakes, and really kind of show them what they'd be spending on average or on median. And it's really easy. You can actually compare up to 4 areas here. There's a few other metrics that you can limit it down to, from the price range, the property type, square footage. All of this you can do custom as well if it has the little custom here. And you can also separate them. So let's say you want to just do the entire MLS and you want to compare one line for 174,000 to 294,000, and then you want to have a comparison line for 295,000 or more. It'll show up right there, and you can just simply hit these arrows and it'll separate that and allow you to choose multiples. The metrics that you can narrow down to go from waterfront to acreage, construction type. And you can go in and you can add up to 4 if I have not said that yet. There are several different graphs that are available for you, from sales price, new listings, homes for sale, days on market, shows per listing. So anything that might be of value to you to educate yourself, to use for lead capture, for a buyer, for a seller, just to maybe generate a report that you would want to send to a client, just so that they can kind of have maybe a realistic expectation on things. It's really endless what you can use this product for. So that's just the InfoSparks section right here. Then there's FastStats. FastStats is something that you probably see us put out monthly, where we go in and we pull these reports and we send them out to you. We do the entire MLS as well as our membership area, so Macomb, St. Clair, Oakland, and all, and break those down for you. Now, these reports are not interactive like the InfoSparks. They're just a monthly generated report where you can go in, you can choose the entire MLS, and what it'll do is it'll open up that report for you. And it really just breaks it down in some of those popular categories like new listings, pendings, days on market, and where it was from the same time last year and that price increase. So a lot of times agents use this as just a way to educate themselves or to give an idea, you know, download this as a PDF, which is really easy. You can do that right from your web browser, and you can just export that as a PDF. So right here, export as a PDF. And I believe in a PC, it's around under edit or file as well. And there's a few different options for you there. There's also a monthly indicators report. This one is the entire MLS. So the local market update report, you can break it down into the whole county, or you can go all the way down to a municipality. So once again, the stats themselves are not interactive. However, the reporting is really easy and interactive, where you can just go ahead and you can click on that. So you can show your client the entire county and then their municipality and how that compares if you would like, and export that as a PDF so that they can see that. You can also do multiple time frames. So if you want to show them something from this year of January, or you want to go back from and show them something from the summer and have them see the differences there, you can also do that. Let me just see your screen. Okay. All right. Well, I have my questions. Thank you guys. I do have my questions section open up, so you are able to ask any questions that you have here, and I will, if it's not something that I am not going to cover or plan to cover in just a moment, then I will be sure to answer that sometime throughout the class. Okay, so really easy. You can go back. All Southeast Michigan is covered in this. Now let's go to the monthly indicator report. Monthly indicator report, like I said, is just the entire MLS. This is a summary that is written through the MarketStats company, just kind of talking about things as a whole, what they're seeing, summary of the residential market, and showing it as in more of a trend versus a chart like you were seeing before. And then there's a monthly data sheet. This one's really popular amongst realtors. This is where they can go in and you can really see the different counties. I feel like this one is mostly used to just educate yourself and see what's happening in the total sales, median sales price, and it's broken down into our counties, including the gross point areas that are separated, just so that you can see those as well. We have a lot of members in the gross point areas, so we were made sure to add that section there for you. Listing and sales summary report. And these are generated every month. So the beginning of that following, so the beginning of the month, you will see that previous month. So here we are, the 10th of February, you are able to pull January. You're not able to pull February yet until early March. So this is under the FastStats tab right here. The one that you can really go deeper into is the local market update report. Now, when you are in MarketStats, if you have not done this yet, I recommend setting up your profile. Now, this profile is not just for you, so that's why I recommend making sure you set this up. Now, I believe what comes over automatically from single sign-on is going to be your name and your email because that's what we have. But you'll want to upload your own headshot, logo, any other information that you want, because when you share these graphs, you have branding available for you on these graphs. So you don't want to share them and not have your contact information and branding and all of that on there. So you can go ahead, you can add your website, you can add your description, office address, everything like that comes up. So be sure before you do share a graph to have that information updated, because when you do share a graph, you'll want people to, they can just easily see that, and it makes just the report look a little bit nicer. There's also a My Areas section. Now, when I was talking about in InfoSparks how you can add up to 4 different categories, several different graphs, you can narrow it down. You can actually create your own custom areas. So sometimes we'll see agents do their subject property, or just let their clients see the areas that they're looking for are near the school and how that compares, where it compares from maybe 5 years ago in that area is also something that you can generate. So that's really nice. We can go in and we'll do this here in just a moment, but it's super easy because all you have to do is just type in that location. You guys are familiar with the mapping in Paragon. It works very similar. You can title that area that you drew out on the map, and that will be available as something that you can type out in your InfoSparks, and it's saved as an option for you. All right, so let's go into InfoSparks. Now, when you are in InfoSparks, you can easily type out your county, your municipality. You can add up to 4, like I mentioned. So if we wanted to just kind of pull some of our areas, our membership areas. St. Clair. Do Grosse Pointe. And we can do and this allows me to compare the 4 different areas in one graph, depending on the category. So I can change this at any time. I can go in and kind of get an idea of the different areas. This might not necessarily be something that you want to share, depends on the angle that you're going to describe this graph. Because you don't want to just be comparing all these different areas and make one area seem better than the other or anything like that. But you do want to kind of give an idea of maybe the coverage that you work within, and that you can pull stats on this and that and these areas. It's up to you, really. Just be mindful of what you are saying when you are sharing these graphs about different areas. So when you do that, you can also narrow it down to square footage, and that's going to pull that and slim that down even more. And really the way to use this product is to tell a story. Tell a story to educate a seller, to educate a buyer, to use this for lead capture, to let people know that you're the expert in the industry. That's really what you're going to want to use this tool for. There's a few different ways that you can design this graph. You can have a line graph or a bar graph. I personally like the line graphs, mainly because over time, I just feel like they tell a better story. So depending on the graph as well, if it's something about the price per square foot that has been gradually increasing, now is a great time to sell. You're going to see that steady increase a little bit better through a line graph. It's going to kind of hit them a little bit more versus the bar graph. just from my opinion. They can see that increase. They can see that things have maybe been steady in throughout these counties. Now, one thing that I just want to do is I want to just show a graph that I think is really interesting. And I want to share this on social media as a way to demonstrate that I am the expert in the industry. I have the numbers, I have the information, I can explain this to you, and I want to appeal to get some sellers. We need some houses on the market right now. So I'm going to do the entire MLS because that is going to be majority of the state that we have here in MarketStats. And I'm also going to do price per square foot. Now, you can look at the graphs and decide if median is better for you or average is better for you. It really depends. But I like to use median because median is going to be kind of that happy balance between the highest price per square foot in that area and the lowest, and it's going to meet in the middle, versus the average is going to factor in the outliers into the number. So if you are narrowing down, just like if you were going to do comps and you have majority of the houses are within this price range, and then you have somebody that falls within the area that you are pulling your comps that comes and builds a mansion in this area, that is definitely going to throw off the comp a little bit in that price. So say with the graph. So I like to kind of stick with median because it's going to find that balance between the highs and the lows. Now, when I'm looking at this graph, I can see where we were 3 years ago for price per square foot, median price per square foot, and where we are now. This is the same month, January. And what that tells me is how steady of an increase it has been and the value of the home that has just gone up so much in 3 years. So I really want to get this graph out there, and I'm going to share this graph. Now you have a few different options here. You can share a static graph, which is going to be if you are referencing specific numbers, percentages, you don't want that to change. Where a live graph is always going to be the latest update that we've had. So if you were to talk about price per square foot has increased by X amount, in your description, whether you are putting this on your website in a blog, you're sharing this on social media, you don't want that number to be incorrect because the following month the numbers have changed. So if you are going to be specific, then go ahead and leave it at a static graph. So for this example, I'm going to keep it static because the description that I'm going to write is going to reference the percent change over the last 3 years. But if I wanted to put this on my website as a widget on my website, or just a section on my website where it's monthly stats, and anybody who's going through my website, reading about checking listings, reading about my experience and my team or something along those lines, and then I have a stats section, I might do live because I can then embed this on my site, have the graph there, little description of what the graph is, but at least it's being updated every month. I'm not being specific on numbers or anything like that. So whether you manage your website from the back end, you can go ahead and you can just add that in. You can iframe that in. You can choose the dimensions that you want, whether it's a little widget in your website, on your website, or if you want it to be a large graph or several large graphs on your web page, or you can just send this right to right to the person who manages your website for you or your the website designer. And you can go ahead and you can share this code. So it is giving me an issue, probably because I chose custom. So now if I want to do that, there we go. Okay, so I want to send this large iframe graph that is going to be live and update every month of the median price per square foot to my website developer. I will send them this code and have them add a new tab or a widget or however they think that it would fit properly in the website. Now for social media and lead capture, I can go in and I can hit share. I'm going to do static because I am going to reference the specific numbers in this graph. And it's going to open up that web page for me, and it's also going to be an interactive graph. If I change my mind and I just want it as a PDF, there's this little PDF icon too that I can use. Casey asked where the share button was. It's not that obvious. It's not like a bright color or anything, but it's right above the graph to the right, and you'll see a little share button next to the print. Okay. So now I am in my graph. This is where your contact information, your branding, all of that, your headshot will be on this report. So this is the exact graph that's going to be shared, whether you email this or you share this on social media and they open this up, they're going to be able to interact, see the numbers, just like you would when you're within InfoSparks. So now I want to share this on my Facebook page. In my Facebook page. Now, one thing that I will say about Facebook is every agent should have a business page that they manage. To the extent of what you manage it is up to you. However, anything that you're going to share, I feel like is going to be best to share on a business page and then reshare it to your personal page if you would like. There's a lot of value to a business page, from boosting your content to building ads, and you're not going to get that on a personal page. However, if you want to do both, go ahead and share that to your personal page. It's really easy. So to share it to your business page, you're just going to hit this little button right here. I think this gets overlooked a lot. And then you can hit share to a page that you manage. Now the description should be, I mean, everybody knows right now the market is crazy. Whether you're looking to buy a home or not, everybody knows that the market is at an all-time high. This is not a shock. If you do want to sell, it's a great time to sell. But let's really captivate them in this description. Let's tell them why they should care. Let's explain the numbers. What does an all-time high really mean? And then a call to action. So I have a little sample description that I've written. It's a little longer than I normally would write. I usually write between 3 to 5 sentences. But I just feel like this graph and what's going on in the market is nothing that people aren't aware of right now. So let's really captivate them with these numbers. So it's not a surprise the housing market is at an all-time high. We've been hearing it for years. So what does this mean in terms of increase in the value of your home? Well, over the last 3 years, the median price per square foot has increased by 76%. So I could look at these numbers and see where it was 3 years ago and where it is now and what that percent change is. So there is no better time to list to get top dollar for your home. while rates are still low. If you have any questions on listing your home, let's fix that, and getting your home search started now, please don't hesitate to call with your questions. So now when I share this on social media, I have, what the graph is, why they should care, why they should list their home, and a call to action. So this is what it'll look like on my page. You still see the paragraph that I wrote. I personally like to break things up a little bit so it's easier to read if I do have more than like 5 sentences. And they're going to see that graph, open it up, and be able to interact and see that percent change that I noted in my description. So this is a great graph to share right now. If you are looking to just kind of get some inspiration, I think this one's a great place to start. This is really easy to explain, really easy to understand, and honestly, what people want to know. It's just been 3 years, and we've seen a 76% change in the entire state of Michigan in the value of your home. So that's just wild. I was really shocked by this. So you can go ahead and you can do that. Another thing that a lot of people struggle with is appealing to buyers right now too. So of course it's a seller's market. I can tell people all day long that it's a great time to sell, but we also have to appeal to the buyers. So what should we do there? Well, one thing that I recommend doing is just looking at the sales price. Check out the sales price. We know it's been going up. So this graph appeals to both buyers and sellers, but it's the way that you explain this. So if I'm going to do my median sales price through the entire MLS, it's been a steady increase, okay, but nothing crazy, crazy worth noting. But a lot of times people are holding out buying. I was guilty of that. Thankfully, I did buy my house a little over 3 years ago, but there was a couple years there where I was thinking as a buyer that it's going to dip down. And now looking back, it's like, oh man, I wish I would have bought 5 years ago versus 3 years ago. So you can go in and you can actually show that change over 5 years, 10 years even. There has been no dips. It has been a steady increase. And there's really no end in sight right now. So for people who have been holding off buying, you don't want to hold off much longer because it is just going to increase while there is shortages, while there's not that many builders able to build homes at the rate that we need them to be building homes. So if you want, you can kind of create this graph to appeal to people, to buyers. There's going to be it's going to be a great time to buy because it's only going to go up in value. So right here, I'm going to then hit share. The description I am going to write is going to be static because I am referencing specific numbers. You can hit share. And I'm going to connect this to Facebook again. Let me get my little description right here ready. If you're continuing to wait for the market to change to buy, this consistent increase of 38% median sales price without any dips over the last 10 years is telling us it will continue to climb while there is a housing shortage. So let's share this. Go to my Facebook page. And you're going to see that graph, how it displays. I go to my news feed. You're going to see, let's refresh a little bit. Mine should be right there at the top or somewhere in here. Let's see, let's refresh one more time. Okay. So here's what the graph will look like. Click that, and you'll have a nice interactive graph. People can contact you right from here. They'll have your email, your website, your phone number, and they can share that graph. So just for a little more inspiration, I did a median sales price graph for the entire MLS. I saw where the sales prices were 10 years ago at this same time to where we are now, and that gave me a 37.6%, I believe it was. So I rounded that up to 38% median sales price without any dips. I mean, this one also kind of shocked me because over 10 years, you would maybe think you'd see something kind of come down a little bit, maybe just right here but just hardly even something to note. But just look at the steady increase, especially over the last 3 years, which also makes sense for the graph that we created just before this one. Do you guys have any questions about the graphs that I created, how I was able to create them and share them on social media? Like I said, you can be following along, or you can just take notes or watch, get some ideas and inspiration of how I describe these graphs. I think just sharing a graph without any description, without that call to action and that why they should care, you might as well not even share the graph. I mean, get that hype up and share why they should care. Obviously, people want to know the details. They don't need to just be told, oh, it's a great time to sell. They really want to know like what they can expect. And stats are going to be a great way to show that you are the expert in the industry. So let me close out of these graphs. And now I want to do a custom area. I'm creating this graph for my client just so they can see what's going on statistically in their neighborhood or their areas where they're looking to buy even, and how it compares to their area. You can go in and you can hit this My Areas section. You can type out the specific address. For example, like if I wanted to see the price difference in homes that are closer to my office versus if I'm going to move out a little bit further and have a longer commute, you could do that. So I'm just going to type out my real source here. It will find the address because we are listed through Google. But I can go in and I can use the polygraph and Polygon. And I can then zoom in. Sorry, let me minimize this GoToWebinar thing. It's kind of blocking my view a little bit. Okay. And I really just want maybe a 10-minute drive from my office. I used to have that and it was really nice, but now I get to work from home, so that's really nice too. Okay, so I'm gonna just do, a 10-minute drive. I wanna stay in this area though. I really don't wanna go too far. And I can draw that polygon, save that, and now I can create a new area. So I'm just gonna put near near work, and save. It's going to generate those stats. Close that, hit save. And then I'm going to go back to InfoSparks, and I can actually go in and I can look up my areas, or I can go to the my areas section if I couldn't remember what I labeled it, and I can put near work. Excuse me. And I can go in and I can see the increase in sales price for that area that I custom drew right near my office to get an idea of what I'm working with here. What about homes for sale? What if I want to kind of see what's going on? Well, that's not a shocker, right? The last 3 months, it's definitely dipped down. So if I want to compare the space, you know, the range between my office and another area where I'm possibly looking, where I don't get the 10-minute drive, I'm going to have to probably drive 30-40 minutes. What is that compared to the amount of homes for sale or the price? Is it going to be worth the price change to have a longer commute? You can share this with your client and easily print this report. You can hit share. You can save it as a PDF. You can also email the interactive graph for them, which is probably what I would do, because just having the stagnant graph is not really going to show them the numbers as much. So you can then open that site back up, and you have the option to email right from your computer. You can take this link. It is a public live link where they can go in and they can easily put that link. You can easily put that link into your email. Okay. Are there any questions on how I was able to do the custom areas? How to use this for maybe a scenario that you're in? You're welcome to share that. Another example that I've given in the past for somebody that's working with a client, or whether that's a seller or a buyer, you can actually use the shows to pending graph, because this is how aggressive you need to be as a buyer right now. This is where we were, this is where we're at. This is how many shows on average you can expect to receive before you have an offer that you've accepted. This is what we're seeing in this area, this time frame. You can go all the way back 10 years to 1 year. You can do custom, so if you don't want to break it down to 5, you want to do 7. Let's say that they bought the house 7 years ago. That maybe would be a reason why you would want to do something like that, kind of go back so that they can see where that was 7 years ago instead of 5. There's also an option in how the graph is separated on how the lines on the graph or the bars on the graph are separated. So I have just been keeping it a rolling 12 months, so it's easy to see. It's broken up into years, or if I'm comparing January to January. You can break it up into 6 months if you're going to do maybe a smaller section. So if you want to do maybe 1 year and kind of see what's been happening in the last 6 months through the winter, and rolling 3 months, the big dip that we've been seeing right now, you can go ahead and do that. And then you can also break it down monthly. Somebody might want to just kind of see what it looks like in each month throughout the year. you have that option. So it's a really straightforward product. I just like to dive in deep to all the settings and ways that you would use it. The big thing is educating yourself so you know how to explain the market when you are meeting with a potential client, and use it for lead capture, whether that's on your website. We have one agent that we actually brought on as a trainer because she had been using this product and she did such a great job explaining the stats, just like a couple little paragraphs, putting them on her website as a blog and then sharing that blog link to her Facebook business page and then resharing it to her personal page. And she'd get that dialogue going on social media and lots of leads just from that one blog post. So let's give them some more options than here's what you need to do to stage your home before a showing. Great, still helpful, but really what they want to see is some numbers. And I think that will get a lot more engagement and a lot of lead capture is generated from this. We also cover this product in our Roadmap to Success class where we have a whole lead capture section. So we use MarketStats as a way for agents in the first class, which is, it's a 3-part class. The first one is lead capture. The second one is working with buyers, and the third one is success with sellers. So you complete the 3 parts in that order and the tools that are available to you and basically how you would work with a client from A to Z. Getting the lead, the tools that are available to you through our membership, as well as some other tips to converting them to a client, incubating that lead perhaps, working with them as a buyer and what they would what tools that we have that you would need to make that purchase, find them a home, set them up, communicate with them. And then the last class is success with sellers, listing the home, CMAs, using things like that. Casey just said, I successfully shared some stats to my social media. Thank you so much for giving me some options of data to share. You're welcome, Casey. It's a really kind of short and sweet class, just kind of going over the product and some inspiration for you. It's really cool to just kind of mess around with it and see. I personally really like the My Areas feature, something to bring to that listing appointment that I think will set you apart. You can just search around that subject property, which is really cool, and compare and even narrow it down specifically for their bedrooms, their square footage. You have a lot of options here and a lot of data. We have a lot of data generated in here for you. So if you don't have any more questions, that's the class. You can always rewatch this class on our YouTube channel. We're going to have a couple different ones recorded of it. And you can find that on youtube.com/myrealsourcemedia. If you do not subscribe to us, please subscribe to us. We are putting out content all the time, trying to, with everything going on, just trying to get that education out there in the best way that we can right now. And you can simply go to our playlist. This is where we have playlists for all of our classes, promotional videos that we've done. We also have all the episodes of Mixing It Up with My Real Source that we've done as well. So you can go in and you can watch all 33 episodes are available for you. This is where we have different guests on, cover different topics. I mean, we have a unique topic every episode. So you can go in, you can watch those. Anytime we add a new class, if you subscribe, you'll just get a little email that says MarketStats has been added to My Real Source Media, or however we label this. So MarketStats class, you can also go in and open up the ones that we've vendored and what we're doing. So if I have anybody that is one of our vendored agents, there's also those recordings available for you too. So go ahead and check that out if you want this to reference at a later date. The examples that I gave, you're welcome to do that. And I hope to see you guys in some of these names in future classes. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Casey. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.